Welcome to the F1 2025 Monaco Grand Prix reaction. Well, it's the reaction, obviously. And today I'm unfortunately alone as AJX is serving his TwitchCon duties. So let's wish him the best time could possibly have there. Anyways, let's get back to Monaco. And yeah, it was a pretty one-sided weekend. The qualifying was amazing, as it always is in Monaco. Race not quite, but the two-star role introduced some interesting aspects that could be interesting going forward, but I don't know what will happen to Monaco, honestly. At this point, it's difficult to assume they would change the track or whatever. Okay, let's move on to the predictions. Biggest surprise, Ajax went with qualified to beat Gasly. Didn't happen, so no points there. Gasly podium. Yeah, he went out in Q1, not the best start. Okay, overperformer. Here, I would say overperformer. As for a driver, honestly, difficult to say. Like, obviously, we had Hajar in P6 in qualifying, P5 in the, or maybe it was the reverse one, P5 starting grid and P6 in the race because he also qualified P6, but Hamilton got a good penalty. Overperformer as for a driver, probably him. Maybe even Ocon could be a good shout. He got Q3 in a Haas while his teammate was nowhere to be seen. Bortoletto out qualifying Hulkenberg as well. Yeah, a pretty mild the overperformer in this case. Yeah, Hajar obviously it's a great performance, but he's been doing well in well pretty consistently, but he still gets the overperformer from me. So Ajax is the first point. Underperformer though, yeah. As for driver here, yeah, I'm thinking about going with Yuki maybe. Like, it was the track that maybe should have been closer, considering it was the shortest time or quality time we've had so far in 1 minute and 10 seconds. Well, Lando went under that, but still expected that Yuki to be a little closer, at least Q3. And yeah, in the end, it didn't happen. So he chose a different strategy in the race and ended up being behind the entire train of cars, of teams helping the drivers by doing the insane thing that you'll leave one driver out, like creating a gap for the other driver to pit in front. It was weird, but also clever on the other hand. But yeah, that was pretty much what happened in this in the second part of the grid. Yeah, thinking about Yuki, constantly can't say that. I could say it for maybe Antonelli, but on the other hand, he finished like right next to his teammate almost. No, I didn't because he had. Okay, maybe actually it will be Antonelli because he crashed in qualifying and in the race finished that last 3 laps behind. So maybe actually, yeah. Even though he was running with Russell, but it was due to George having the issues in qualifying. Yeah, I'm going with Antonelli for the underperformer. Now that I think about it, perfect team. There are, I think, two clear candidates, Ferrari and Racing Bulls, and both of those deserve it, I think. And in this case, we don't get any points because we picked Red Bull. No, and Alpine was probably the worst team, apart from Mercedes. And during the weekend. So yeah, tragic team. Definitely Mercedes for me. I think AJS will agree. Their worst weekend since I can even remember. It's been awful. Like the most important qualifying of the year, and you finish P14, P16, or P15, and without a time set in Q2. So one car crashes and the other one just gives up over a bump. It was very, very unfortunate, but also, yeah, it's the team's fault how they set up the car. and these things shouldn't happen. It's very unlucky for George. It was looking decent enough, but yeah, definitely Mercedes, because their strategy in the race was it wasn't there wasn't a strategy. Like they didn't pit for 60 laps and then just randomly remember they have to get 2 pit stops, and while everyone else had some pit stops already, some of them even both. Like it was ridiculous. I didn't, like, me and my dad during the race, we didn't know what was Mercedes thinking, because literally, like, why were they pitting? We were saying it every single lap. Like, what are they waiting for? Like, what are they doing? It was so weird. They have to pit twice, and essentially, like, throwing their entire race. Like, they could have scored points with a better strategy in this race, definitely, but they chose not to for some reason. Yeah. In my opinion, I think someone should have tried to pit twice at the start and then just cruise home. It would be very risky, but in this case, like, pitting once, you're getting stuck in the other train, but pitting twice, uh, maybe they had some chance for points. All of it depended on the teams in front, and since some teams had 2 drivers next to each other, they choose the strategy of, well, one driver is backing the entire train of cars, and the creating a pit stop window for the other car in front. Essentially, what happened for Racing Bulls for Williams, and Mercedes tried it with Russell, but he ended up getting 0 points anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, Mercedes for Tragic Team, definitely. Qualifying, though, P5 was not Anthony nor Gasly. Pretty sure about that. It was pretty sure it was Max, right? Because we had 2 Ferraris and 2 McLarens in the front, so Max was P5, I'm pretty sure, but he got promoted to P4 thanks to lose his penalty. So this is Max P4. That was Hamilton P3. Was Piastri, right? P2 Norris. P2 Leclerc and P1 Norris. So anyway, no points there. P5 in the race was Lewis, no points. P4 Max, no points. P3 Oscar, no points. P2 Charles, no points. And P1 Lando, who we get 0 points from an entire qualifying race results, which is kind of crazy. Think about it. I was sure I was getting no points after Q1, pretty much. When I saw Gasly out, I already knew that my wild predictions weren't happening. But AJ is getting 0 points from it. It's actually crazy as well. So yeah. And actual prediction: 13 race finishers, no, and no McLaren on the podium. Unfortunately, there were 2, so no points. 1 point for Ajax after its race, 21-16 now in the standings. 5 points lead for Ajax. I think I can catch up, but we'll need some good races. Honestly, I went with the 20.3 strategy, and I'm going to continue with it because I need to try something different, and it doesn't have to work on the first time. So I'm going to try it, keep going with it. Maybe after a couple of races, I'll change the strategy again. Perhaps. I don't know. Okay, there's not many talking points, honestly. I went through most that happened. The race wasn't exciting. The 2 stops gave it something different, but it was still Monaco. There were no overtakes because the cars are too big and too heavy, and the track is, it hasn't changed in a while. Like, they could do some changes, definitely. There are many changes proposed to the track, but they still haven't decided on anything, unfortunately. And Monaco stays, and will stay, in my opinion, next year as well, in the same state that you cannot overtake and can do anything. That's unfortunately the truth. So that was very quick. Monaco, honestly, this track doesn't deserve much talking, because there was no race, so there couldn't have been any craziness. in previous years in the past. So yeah, average Monaco, and we move on to Spain next week. So yeah, remember to tune into the predictions, and we'll see you, well, in the next video. Peace.